Chaos grips Jordan's Muwaffaq Salti airbase as Iranian missiles and drones slam into the US-used installation, with explosions lighting up the night sky and fires breaking out near key facilities. Sirens blare and loudspeakers bark orders as American and Allied troops sprint to bunkers and hardened shelters, capturing the panic and confusion inside the Jordan airbase while incoming rounds hit nearby. A leaked US soldier's point-of-view clip shows the base shaking under repeated strikes, radios crackling with urgent commands as Iran rains down missiles on Muwaffaq Salti and air defenses struggle to keep up. Meanwhile, even sections of the American media are now acknowledging that Iran's missiles and drones are exposing serious gaps in US regional air and missile defenses, fueling a debate over whether Tehran now holds the upper hand in key technologies. New footage of a US soldier inside Jordan's Muwaffaq Salti airbase during Iran's latest attack is going viral, giving a raw look at the chaos as the strike unfolded. The unverified video is said to show the July 17, 2026 Iranian attack on Muwaffaq Salti airbase, with clips circulating on social media and being analyzed by commentators. In the first few seconds, sirens can be clearly heard blaring as the soldier runs around a room, grabbing his gear while alarms warn of incoming fire. After he exits the compound inside the Muwaffaq Salti airbase, the footage appears to show missile fire in the distance, with flashes lighting up the sky and debris visible near the perimeter. Other segments seem to show troops huddling in what looks like an above-ground bunker, staying low as sirens wail and distant explosions echo across the base. U.S. Central Command later confirmed that 2 American troops were killed in the attack and said the remains of a 3rd soldier were recovered afterwards, underscoring how deadly the strike was. Iran also hit targets in Bahrain and Kuwait on July 8, and followed up by striking Al Udeid in Qatar and Jordan's Azraq area bases on July 9, widening its retaliation against U.S.-linked facilities. Tehran framed these strikes as payback for sustained U.S. strikes on Iran, according to state outlet Press TV, insisting that its attacks were a response rather than the opening move. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps boasted that it had dealt a crushing blow to the United States by targeting radars, air defense systems, and other critical infrastructure used to support U.S. operations in the region. Iran's latest battlefield tactics are raising serious concerns that American troops are now being deliberately targeted with greater precision. American media reports now suggest Iran has significantly improved its missile tactics against U.S. air defense systems. Officials say one missile slipped through, but analysts believe it reflects a much larger shift in Iran's military capabilities. Military experts now believe Iran is combining missiles and drones in ways that are becoming harder for U.S. defenses to stop. An Iranian missile attack on a US-linked base in Jordan left 3 American service members dead. The same attack wounded dozens of US personnel, making it one of the conflict's deadliest incidents so far. Marco Rubio admitted that despite multiple interceptions, one Iranian missile still managed to reach its target. The Jordanian military facility had reportedly come under repeated attacks in the days leading up to the deadly strike. US officials now acknowledge that several Iranian missiles and drones successfully penetrated multiple layers of air defenses. A veteran regional military analyst told CBS News that Iran has clearly elevated the sophistication of its battlefield tactics. Former Jordanian military officials say Iran's advanced missile technology is becoming increasingly difficult to intercept. Lieutenant General and former Jordanian Deputy Chief of Staff, Qasid Mahmoud, said, and I quote, "The Iranians have advanced missile technology. They're developing techniques and capacities to extend their reach, combining with drones to overwhelm radar defenses. The Iranians use simple missiles to distract the radar. They then fire better quality missiles, which change their final target in the last 30 or 40 kilometers," unquote. CENTCOM maintains that most incoming missiles were intercepted, but acknowledges that a small number still reached their intended targets. Military analysts warn the repeated breakthroughs suggest Iran is steadily identifying weaknesses in US and allied defensive systems. America's expanding war with Iran has reached a terrifying new level, with the conflict intensifying across multiple fronts and raising fears of a prolonged regional military confrontation. The human cost of the conflict continues to mount, with 427 US troops reported injured since the fighting began, including nearly 100 service members wounded in just the past 2 weeks alone. Iran has claimed to have launched coordinated strikes targeting US military positions in Jordan, Bahrain, and Kuwait, signaling a widening battlefield across the Middle East. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claims that its strike on the US military complex at Jordan's Rukban base killed several American troops, although Washington has not confirmed the claim. While Iran's Revolutionary Guards claim US troops were killed in the Rukban base strike, the Pentagon has stood by its official figures of 17 and has not confirmed the reported death toll. Iran's Revolutionary Guards are celebrating what they describe as a deadly and successful operation against US forces in Jordan, portraying the strike as a major military achievement. The Pentagon says nearly 100 American troops have been injured over the past 2 weeks, highlighting the growing toll on US forces as military operations continue. According to the Pentagon, a total of 427 US service members have been injured since Operation Epic Fury began, underscoring the escalating human cost of the campaign. The US military has identified the third service member confirmed killed in the recent Iranian attacks linked to the Jordan front. The Pentagon has confirmed another American military fatality, marking a new milestone in the escalating conflict with Iran. With the latest confirmation, the number of American service members reported killed in the conflict has now climbed to 18. Iran's expanding missile and drone campaign is proving increasingly deadly for US forces operating across the Middle East. President Donald Trump also addressed the latest casualties in a post on Truth Social, acknowledging the growing cost of the conflict. Despite mounting casualties, President Trump has ordered an 11th consecutive night of strikes against targets inside Iran. US Central Command statement read, and I quote, "CENTCOM forces began striking military targets in Iran at 7 p.m. Eastern Time today for the 11th consecutive night. The strikes are designed to continue degrading Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz." At 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on July 21st, US Central Command, CENTCOM, successfully completed the 11th consecutive evening of strikes against Iran. CENTCOM assets targeted Iranian military operation centers, maritime capabilities, aircraft hangars, drone storage facilities and military logistics infrastructure to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Over the past 3 months, Iran has attacked more than 30 commercial vessels transiting the international waterway vital for regional and global trade. The unwarranted attacks have endangered hundreds of innocent mariners and undermined freedom of navigation. Despite Iranian aggression, the Strait of Hormuz remains open for commercial vessel transit. Since early May, CENTCOM forces have helped facilitate the transit of approximately 900 commercial vessels and 450 million barrels of crude oil. Unquote. American forces continue striking military targets across Iran as Washington presses ahead with its expanding air campaign. US officials say the strikes are designed to weaken Iran's ability to threaten shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Military command centers, drone facilities, and logistics sites remain at the center of the latest American offensive. Iranian air defense systems were activated once again as another wave of US strikes unfolded overnight. Residents in northeastern Tehran reported renewed air defense fire as explosions echoed across the capital. Fresh explosions were also reported in Bandar Abbas as strikes continued near the Strait of Hormuz. Sirik was shaken once again as new blasts echoed across southern Iran during the latest round of attacks. Overnight explosions were also reported in Tabriz, Chabahar, and Kangavar as the conflict spread across multiple regions. Mahaha has now joined the growing list of Iranian cities affected by the expanding US air campaign. Explosions continue to ripple across multiple Iranian cities as both sides intensify military operations. Iran's air defense network remains on high alert, responding repeatedly to incoming strikes. The conflict has now entered its 11th consecutive night, with no visible signs of de-escalation. Washington says it will maintain relentless military pressure until Iran's operational capabilities are significantly reduced. The Strait of Hormuz remains at the heart of the conflict, with both sides treating the strategic waterway as a critical battlefield.